Here's Merz speaking shortly.
In the era of great power rivalry, even the United States will not be powerful enough to go it alone. Dear friends, being a part of NATO is not only Europe's competitive advantage, it's also the United States' competitive advantage. So let's repair and revive transatlantic trust together. We, the Europeans, we are doing our part.
Well, for more, we can bring in our Berlin correspondent who is in Munich for us today, Nick Holdsworth. Nick, a real plea for transatlantic reconciliation from the German chancellor today. How well is that message going to go down among his fellow European leaders?
That is exactly the sort of message that European leaders want to hear. He also referenced in his speech the united front that Europeans have put together over Greenland and referred to the Danish Prime Minister saying that she understood the solidarity, the importance of solidarity. So I think this is a message. The Europeans want to say, look, we understand that the world has shifted. We understand that America is showing signs of acting like a great power, wanting to go it alone. We don't want to throw away that alliance. That served us well for 80 years. Let's look at how we can work together. Merz hasn't pulled his punches in the past. It's just after he was elected a year ago, he said that America was no longer our ally. He's had some fairly choice words for the Trump administration. And here he is saying, just before he made that statement, and pointedly made that statement in English after going through the same arguments in German first, just before that he said some should argue that Europe should simply write off the United States as a power and an ally. But that would be to ignore geopolitical realities and underestimate the value of Europe's partnership with the US despite our differences. So he's basically built an argument by saying, look, we in Europe understand we've got to pull our weight more, we've got to pay more into NATO, we can develop a European pillar of strength within NATO that contributes to the alliance. And if you go alone, America, you may find it's harder than you think. I mean, some of these arguments are laid out in the very hard-hitting report for the Munich Security Conference this year, which basically says the elephant in the room is this global uncertainty, the global wrecking ball that's been taken to international law, international trade. And here is Merz saying, okay, we see where that's going, but if you start wrecking things and you start losing your allies, you too end up weaker. And he was very insistent that Germany is going to be pulling its weight. He talked about a German Bundeswehr, that's the German army, brigade that is now based in Lithuania in the Baltic. That's the first time that a German military unit has been based overseas since the Second World War. He said that the German army would become the strongest in Europe, and working with European partners, particularly with the French, the Europeans would be able to punch above the weight they're punching at the moment. I think what he's done here is he's put a shot across the bows of the Americans with Marco Rubio coming into town tomorrow morning for that all-important keynote speech by the American Secretary of State.
And Nick, just how high are the stakes here?